All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, welcome. Welcome to the Gridiron Sports Podcast. I am your host, Majestic Sounds, but y'all already knew that. Welcome in. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe. Become a part of the community. Become a part of the family. Hit the like button as well and share this content. All right, so now let's talk about Dallas. Another loss, another home loss, which is unacceptable. Now, I will say this, the fourth quarter was better. The fourth quarter, the offense came out and put some points on the board. Now, if the offense hadn't done that, and I'm here to tell you this, Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy would most definitely be up for firing. That conversation would have most definitely be up for discussion because it would have been a second blowout at home. And our record at home right now is 0-2. And we coming off a horrible loss in a wild card game. And before that, our home record was like 16-0. So now to lose that wild card game and then to lose 2 games straight, darn near a blowout, it ain't looking good to say the least. Cowboy Nation, I'm going to give you factual information. It don't look good. The defense still doesn't have it together. The front line was not able to stop the run. Lamar Jackson practically did what he wanted to do. He was able to throw the ball. He was able to run the ball. He was able to extend plays. And we already know what we was about to face with them coming into our house. But at the same time, you have to make a stand defensively, and they were not able to do so. Now, we had an opportunity during the offseason. I talked about this before on my podcast. During the offseason, they had opportunity to get Derrick Henry. They had an opportunity to keep TP as in Tony Pollard. I've said it over and over and over again. We bounced up off of Tony too soon. Yes, I know some of you guys have your reservations because he was injured, but towards the end of the year, he picked it up. He was able to produce 60 yards per game. This past game we played, we didn't get 60 rushing yards. I'm telling you, I'm gonna look right now. We had 51 rushing yards. $51 rushing yards, and Dak Prescott got like 10 or 13 of those 51 yards. So I think we moved away from Tony Pollard too soon. We should have brought him back at least for a cup of coffee, and bring in the likes of Derrick Henry. I heard Jerry Jones say in the post game interview that we just didn't have enough money. Man, you had enough money. All you got to do is move some money around, talk to a few players, call them in the office, call their agents in the office, and just restructure their contracts. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. It's going to help the team in the long haul. Now, look at the offense. It's not moving or producing points quick enough. Again, another game, the offense started out slow. I talked about this on my last episode, you guys. Go back and look at it if you didn't. These are the keys to succeed in week 3. You have to play containment on the edge and keep a spy on Lamar Jackson. The front line has to play disciplined football and make sure they don't allow Derrick Henry to run all over them. And they were not able to do it. The defense were not able to stop Lamar or Derrick Henry. We know this team is going to run the ball. It don't take a rocket scientist. You have to play disciplined football, do your assignment, whatever gap assignment you have, be there, fill the gap, make the tackle, or allow your player on your team to make the tackle. cut off the outside run, force the opposing team with the ball back inside, and allow your interior to make the tackle or your linebacker to make the tackle. So we knew what we was up against. It wasn't no secret that they was going to come in and have a gritty approach to the game. So it's enough blame to go around. It is enough blame to go around. The offense started out slow. The defense couldn't stop nobody. And the secondary did not do good. We seen players wide open all night long. So again, it's enough blame to go around. We have got to do much better. I get it. It's the Baltimore Ravens. They are a Super Bowl contending team. But we ain't no slouches. But right now, we look like some couch potatoes. So we got to do way better than what we're doing. I listened to Dak post-game interview and how he talks about trusting the process. Is only week 3. I get it, Dak. It's only week 3. And the offense did look good in the fourth quarter. But other than that, man, most of the game, y'all didn't do anything. For whatever reason. You and CD Lamb wasn't on the same page. Now, shout out to Jalen Tolbert. Shout out to Brandon Cooks. Shout out to Jake Ferguson. I do like the fact that Dak was able to spread the ball around, but we couldn't get the running game going. Now the defense don't have to play honest because you can't get the running game going. And Mike McCarthy, you are at fault. You are at fault for this. The front office, you are at fault for this because you could have made some moves early in the offseason to avoid this situation with the running game. And then the play calling is very suspect. And that's Mike McCarthy's fault. You got to call the right plays, the sequence of plays. You have to play a chess game with the opposing team's defense, or they're going to stop you. They're going to stop you. You got to give them a reason to respect the run. You had your chance. Front office, Will McClay, Stephen Jones, and Jerry Jones. You had every chance during the offseason to get running backs in there. You had a chance to keep Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard said, hey, I am willing to stay. I am willing to take a pay cut. See, people think that all players just all about the money. Not necessarily. Some players want to win a ring. They want to go to the NFC Championship game. They want to go to the Super Bowl, and they're willing to take a pay cut. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Arguably the best quarterback in the game. He's taking a pay cut so that they can get in players to build a team around him so they can continue to win Super Bowls. They have an opportunity to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. 3. Why? Because the quarterback, Patty Mahomes, is taking a pay cut. He is not the highest paid. He's the best quarterback, but he ain't the highest paid. He's not, and he's fine with that. So Tony Pollard was willing to take a pay cut. What happened? Tennessee made the offer. They made a better offer. So he went with the money. I get it. If a team don't want you, what else can you do? So you could have married Derrick Henry and Tony Pollard and had thunder and lightning. That's what you could have did. Nothing against Rico Dowdle. I love Ezekiel Elliott, but those guys are only averaging 28 yards, rushing yards per game. That ain't gonna get it. And you had Tony producing 60 yards per game. That's better than 28. Even when you combine the 28, it's only 56. I would rather have TP and bring in a Derrick Henry and have thunder and lightning and let those 2 guys be my main guys as far as the running game. Now, the offensive linemen, they rookies. Excuse me. They rookies. What? What do the coaching staff expect from rookies? They're going to make rookie mistakes. We had too many penalties on the offense and special teams. Too many penalties. Our left tackle favoring the outside when he should have favored the inside. Never give up the inside leverage. But he's a rookie. It's a learning curve. That's what they're called. It's a learning curve for all the rookies right now. It's a learning curve for the whole team, evidently. But for them to not score into the fourth quarter, and for your defense to only get maybe 2 3 and outs the whole game. I don't have to look it up, see how many 3 and outs the defense were able to create throughout the game. I don't remember nothing but 2. The Baltimore Ravens, let's see how many times they punt the ball. I don't have it right here in front of me. I don't think they punt the ball nothing but a couple of times the whole game. So obviously our defense did not do the job. We didn't have a lot of penalties, but we had penalties at the wrong time. That's the thing. You have to be sharp on your P's and Q's against a offensive juggernaut type of team. That team just got out of the AFC Championship game. They are not finna roll over because you are Dallas. They're not. They're gonna hit you in the mouth just like New Orleans did last week. Very similar to the New Orleans game. Guys wide open. Nobody can stop the run. If I'm not mistaken, 13 missed tackles. 17. Whoa. 17 missed tackles. Man, you can't win. You have to do the fundamental things. You have to execute the small things in order to beat a very good team, and we were not able to do that. We played sloppy ball. Costly penalties. And we couldn't stop a common cold from a defensive perspective. And I thought that Mike Zimmer would game plan a little better. I thought Mike McCarthy would game plan a little better than what they were able to do. And right now, I know it's 3 weeks, only week 3. We're going into week 4. We got a short week. We got to go up to New York. And play the New York Giants Thursday night. So it's a short week. So you got to have amnesia. CD Lamb got to put this game behind him. Michael Parsons going to have to put this game behind him. D. Law going to have to put this game behind him. I know they're disappointed in the effort, the overall effort throughout the game. Cowboy Nation, we got to put this game behind us. We don't like what they left out there on tape. And I'm sure they looking at it today and they don't like what they left out there on tape. But now we got to make those adjustments. Clean up them penalties. Make the right reads. And let's go. Let's get it. We got to go to New York. So we going back on the road. And they coming off a win. Now, I know it ain't nobody but Danny Dimes, but they coming off a win. So they riding high right now. So we're going to have to bring our A game, regardless. Mike McCarthy talked about it during his interview, post-game interview, talking about trusting the process. That sound cool. And Dak Prescott said the same thing. It sound cool and all, trusting the process, but you got to win too. We got to see something that resembles a victory. Right now, it doesn't look like the fourth quarter Cowboys. Don't look like that's the real Cowboys. The other quarters, that look like the real Cowboys. You had more bad quarters than good quarters. And we had some bright spots. Shout out to both of the Jalens for stepping up. Shout out to Brandon Aubrey for kicking those field goals. He is a secret weapon, no doubt. Cavante Turbin is a secret weapon. He got a touchdown. My guy Jalen Tolbert, like I said, the two Jalens, they look phenomenal in the fourth quarter. But that's the fourth quarter, and I get it. You know, Dak said in his interview that they was running zero cover zero, which means they were blitzing. For those who don't know, so they didn't cut no slack for Dallas in the fourth quarter. But at the same time, it's the fourth quarter. Where were you at the first, second, and third? So the offense is going to have to help out the defense a little bit. You got to start off your first possession and get 7 points. You got to score on your first possession. I take 3 points on the first possession. You got to score. You're playing against a team that just got out the AFC Championship game. I can't stress that enough. You're not playing the Cleveland Browns. You're not playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're not playing against a team who struggles offensively, that hang their hat on defense. These people got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They ain't got to hang their hat on no defense. So when you're playing against teams like that, you got to score. You got to score first, fast, and often. First, fast, and often. Then you can milk the clock. But you got to score in order to milk the clock. You can't always play from behind. Good teams like that ain't finna let you come back. Now, we almost came back if we had made a couple of those 2-point conversions. But it's just a little too late. A little too late. But if you had started out scoring, no problem. We would have won that game. It would have been a totally different outcome at that point. But when you start off slow again, man, you are not going to win. Not against no good team. You ain't going to win. So I'm going to look at some of these numbers and just call out these numbers here. It's ridiculous. Some folks had almost 500 total yards. 500 total yards. 456 to be exact. 182 yards passing. They really didn't have to pass. And 274 yards rushing. That's your problem. You can't stop the run. We knew they was going to re-option us to death. You knew they was going to test the outside. That's why it's important to have a spot. That's why it's important to play containment on your ends. Your defensive ends have to play containment, force him in the middle, and the spy tackle him for a minimal gain. Lamar is going to be Lamar, but you have to minimize Lamar. Derrick Henry is going to be King Henry. You have to minimize that. You have to draw up a scheme, schematics, play calling to minimize that. Use your personnel in the best way possible to minimize it. And they did not accomplish that. They got 3 sacks and we ain't got no sacks. We got generational talent on our defense. What are we doing with no sacks? That's ridiculous. D-Law. Also, Ozigi Zua. I think I said the man name right. Sorry if I messed your name up. Odigi Zua. And, of course, Michael Parsons. And we got safeties. Donovan Hitman Wilson. Come on. No sacks. That's a problem. That's a problem. And I get it. It wasn't too many third and long situations. That's why you have to play so good. Containment, discipline on first and second downs, so you can force a third and long, and you can draw up the blitz. We had one fumble, 6 penalties for 44 yards, but the penalties was at the wrong time. They had way more penalties than us, but they was running the ball very effectively though, so it didn't matter. They almost had 300 yards rushing between Lamar and Derrick Henry. And then of course we had the 17 missed tackles, which is utterly ridiculous. So we got a lot to clean up, to say the least. A whole lot to clean up. We got a short week at that, so you gotta have amnesia and get ready for Thursday night football against the New York G-Men Giants, who coming off a win. So that's my time, Cowboy Nation. I don't want to hold you all any longer. It's just a very bad loss again at home. So we're not doing very good at home as of now. But it's only week 3. But this running game, we're gonna have to do something. The defensive front line, the nose tackle position, we're gonna have to spend some money. Get up out these discount stores. Get up out the discount stores. Quit looking for the bargain. Quit looking for a low price, and move some money around and spend some money. Do what you got to do, front office. Restructure some contracts. Right? Move some signing bonuses around or whatever. Do what you got to do. As my boy Ralph Trappman said. Front office got to do what they got to do. And then, then you can win the trust back from Cowboy Nation. Cowboy Nation right now, trust is very, very low. The Cowboy fans are not trusting the process. The players are all in. I don't even know right now. Some of the players are not all in, judging by their post-game interviews. But the head coach and Dak seems to be all in. They seem to be optimistic, so they're going to try to convince the other players to be optimistic, and they gotta hurry up and do that because it's a short week. All right, Cowboy Nation, thank you so very much. I appreciate each and every one of you that's following us here on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Prime. We thank you all. And for those of you who are new to this community, welcome to the community. Just join in with us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and share this content. Share it with a friend. Share it with a neighbor. Share it with a stranger, a family member, and even your enemy. And y'all just might become cool after talking about the Dallas Cowboys. DC for life. Peace.